I just finished my workout and I want to talk to you guys about something. I work with, thank God, really successful and highly impactful leaders who are often visionaries and creators in their own right, and who've been on a journey of healing and growth and consciousness for a while. And often they come to me after many healing journeys, and they always ask this question, sometimes a little bit sheepishly, sometimes with a little bit of shame. It's like, you know, I worked on this thing. I went to an ayahuasca ceremony about it. I did a 3-month container with a somatic therapist around it. I went to 20 years of therapy about it. Why do I still have this trigger? Why do I still have this problem? And that really, really, really pisses me off, because I think it is a disservice inside of the mental health and healing industry, where there is this idea that if a trigger comes back, it means that you didn't heal it. It means that something that you're doing isn't working. There is this idea that we will eradicate our humanity, that we will eradicate our triggers, that we will eradicate our emotions if we just heal enough. There's this illusion of perfection. And under the guise of healing, and there's this illusion of perfection on the other side of shadow work, and on the other side of healing our wounds. To me, a utopia and a heaven on earth is not to have any humanity. It's not to have any feelings. It's not to have any pain or grief or wounds, but it's to have the self-acceptance and self-love and inner peace, to be able to know not to waste the trigger, to be able to keep returning to ourselves over and over and over again with these opportunities that life gives us for the rest of our life, because we're not only on a journey of trauma healing from child developmental challenges and big T traumas. That's not the only journey we're on. We're also on a soul's journey, and our soul has soul material that we are here to work through, that we are here to grow from. We are here to grow our souls. We are here to connect closer to God, to connect closer to awe, to connect closer to the infinite. And sometimes that is through joy, and sometimes that is through challenges. And when we only orient toward trauma healing as the only way, then we are often, and I posted about this yesterday, bypassing our soul's mission, our soul's journey, our soul's purpose. Because there is a reason why many trauma healers and many people in a trauma healing journey orient a lot toward the healing the wound. And that's because in past generations there was tons of suppression and repression and spiritual bypassing, which is using spirituality to bypass our real feelings. But what I've been finding is that the pendulum has been swinging, where people are using trauma healing and bypassing their own souls. And then they're wondering why it's not working. Our soul is also a part of the picture here. Our soul, as long as it's in our body and beyond, till infinity, is always going to want to grow. And that is not a bad thing. And when we can surrender into our soul's journey, into the life that we have chosen and into the life that our soul has chosen, we can deeply understand that our soul is here to grow. Our soul is here to experience. Our soul is here to forget, to remember, to expand. To forget, to remember, to expand, and to experience all along the way. And forgetting is part of the plan. Forgetting does not mean there's anything wrong with you. Forgetting does not mean your trauma healing is not working. Forgetting is part of the plan. It is part of the plan to forget and remember deeper. Forget and remember deeper. And I always say this to myself. I say, Rifki, forgetting makes the remembering sweeter, right? The contrast is what makes life so alive. It's what makes life so dynamic. It's what makes life fun. Any feeling, in my experience, fully felt, is so blissful and so pleasurable when we can reframe our experience with feeling our feelings. So if you have another trigger after you work through it, there's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly right. You are right on time. And all you've done is forgotten so that you can remember and expand even more, so that your soul can keep rising higher and higher, closer to the truthiest truth, closer to God, closer to the truest nature of your being and reality. And when you stop shaming yourself, when we stop shaming ourselves for having the trigger again, we can then use it as sacred material to grow from and expand with. So the less we shame ourselves on our journey, and the more that we remember that having triggers and being human and forgetting is a part of the plan, the quicker we can pick ourselves up and wipe ourselves off and walk into our becoming, and walk into the field of abundance, and walk into the true reality, and walk into a more beautiful world, and walk in and as our souls through this lifetime. When you know perfection is an illusion and there's nothing wrong with you if you're triggered, even if the mental health or the healing industry or your parents or your coding or your programming might have taught you that, then you are free. You are free to go and create your life. You are free to go and create the most liberated and beautiful life that you possibly can create.